Today is Tuesday, and Suzanne and I are up to it again. We have started a new series that is going to be called Bind It All. And what we're going to do over the next 2 months or so, we're going to explore different ways of binding our journals, and we're going to demonstrate and share that with you, what we have found. And then we're going to do lives and discuss what we feel, what we found about them, and what we liked about them, what we didn't like about them. So today is the long stitch, I believe it's called, and I watched a video. What was it by? Bookbinder, I think it's called. I'll link it below because she has a very good demonstration on how to do this, which is what I watched to learn. And she also has a really great template for this. It didn't work for what I was doing. I'm not putting in that many signatures, but it's a great template. In fact, I downloaded it, and I'm going to do this one again. So anyways, this is what it looks like. To do this the very first time, choosing this was a bad mistake. When you're doing it the very first time, choose something very simple. This is what we're going to be doing the next one on. And this is a hanging folder, file folder. Plain cover, easily see everything you're doing. This was hard to find the holes that I needed. But what I like about this one is that it lays flat. Everything is flat all the time. I really liked that style, this style. Anyways, that's what I did. That's my very first one I did. And now we're going to do the second one together. So I already have my signatures all prepared. And I am doing 6 signatures, because that's how it works with my, this is my cheat. I found a cheat. So I'm going to put that over there and out of the way. This here is a hanging file folder, and I cut it down to where I wanted, but I didn't cut these off because I want that to incorporate in the cover itself. And I need to get rid of this in here and whatnot. But right now, for today, we're doing the binding. So you're going to need 2 needles, your wax thread. I would suggest strongly using wax thread. If you're going to use embroidery thread, double it up, or use a string of some sort, a cotton string, something that is going to be strong enough for this. But if you're using embroidery thread, she said to double it up. And as you'll see as we go, doubling up would be tricky, I think. But I'm going to show you the way that I do it. And I have this for my little pokey to poke into. And I see I don't have my awl here. Let's get my awl in. There we go. There's my awl. And my pencil and pen, all that stuff. I got it all here. So I cut strips because it was just easier. And that's what she demonstrated too. She had these strips and it just went so fast. So this is a strip that's 3/4 of an inch. And this one is 3/8 of an inch. So you're first off, you go to the top, line it up there, and draw your line across here. Now this is where I'm going to attach my spine, or my signatures. As you can see, these are just all nicely spread out, all even. Works perfectly. This is a great cheat. And then I'm going to do the same down here. So that's the 3/4 inch. There we go. 3/4 inch there. Then I'm going to take my 3/8 and I'm just going to line it up with my line that I just drew. And I'm going to draw another line right here. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. Like so. So you're going to be 3/4 of an inch from top to bottom. That's where your first stitch is going to be. Then that will leave and make it look like this. Okay, so then we're going to take and measure our halfway point. And I don't remember, I think I made this 8.5 inches. Did I? No, I thought about it. Okay, so this here is 8.25 inches. That's why I had to cut off a little bit off of my pages. Okay, so 8.25, so 4.25. How many lines are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 and 2 lines. 1/8, I think that is. So mark your line. And then I just took and did this all the way across. Make sure we're straight. It looks good. And then we take this strip here, this 3/4 inch strip, and we just line it up so that we have it in the middle of that line. And I'm just using where I went over here. I'm just using that to bring it over like that, because I believe that is about the middle. And then I'm going to draw a line here, and I'm going to draw a line here. Then, oh, I see that's not quite, is it? No, let's redo that. Let's redo that, because it looks silly if we don't. Okay, try that again. Okay, I must have moved it. So we're going to go, let's see, what's about the middle right there? I look about middle? Okay, so we're just going to line that up right about like so. Let's try that. That's kind of sort of seems to me where we were, except this one was much lower. There we go. Okay, we're going to go like that. Okay, close enough. We're going to call that done. Then we need to erase our center line here so we don't get too confused. Okay, so for now, that gets put away. Then I'm going to take my awl, and this is why I said it's much easier if you're working with a plain, especially until you get good at doing this, if you're going to do it. Okay, and then this is where I'm doing 6 signatures. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can just do, I'm going to do my first one here. I just go, and I'm doing 6 of these, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then it should be very easy to find. Yes, much better. that other by trying to get through the cork and all that, it was crazy. And 6 holes we do. All right. And then we're going to do the same here. And we'll start here. All right, so we're good with this one for now. And your signatures, if you have any one of these that have a pattern in them, I chose, most of mine do not have a pattern. There's one with a little bit of a pattern. But I would suggest marking them with a T for your top, or a little mark, whatever. I just want to make sure that oh, did I do it in the very last one? Oh, sure I did. And I think I just wouldn't want to put anything upside down, you know? There's some birds. Oh, there they are. There they are. There's my birds. See, good thing I checked. So we want that one. up here. Yes. And yes, okay. So I'm going to just give mine a little mark. Doesn't have to be big. I'm just going to do that. To heck with it, just a little line. Because when you get going, sometimes it's easy to put it in the wrong way. Okay, so there we go. Then what I did was I'm going to make this my first one. And I'm going to turn these over like this. This is going to be my first, and it's going to go in here like this. So I'm just lining it up, and I'm going to mark my, well, you know what you could do. This is what I did with the other ones. I'm going to see if it works. It's not going to work. Don't do it that way. Don't do it that way. So, okay. It would have been fun to see if it worked, but I don't think it will. It works on all the other ones, not on the first one. So I'm just going to mark my lines here. My holes, my dots. That's where I want my holes to go. Okay, and then, yeah, you could do, this looks like it's going to go fairly good in there, so I'm going to turn it this way. If you had one of those book binding kits, this would come in really handy here. So we're going to go 1, 2, yeah. I had to stop and think there for a moment. 1, 2, and 1, 2. Okay. Oops, see, that one's a little over there. Oh well. We're just going to put that in there just a little bit. It'll be a little bit bigger hole there, but that's okay. That's okay. Then what I did was I took my next top to my top, and I put it in like this, and hold it nice and snug there, and then I just punched my holes. Then I know everything is where it's supposed to be. A little harder to see on this paper. There we go. Then, because I did not want this one to get big holes, I put this one over. That's my top, and I'm flipping it over because that's my first one. And I'm taking this. I have my top, and I'm going to put that in here like this. Line them up. Make sure they're in there nicely. And then we're just going to take and give them another punch. Oop. Okay, there we go. And we're going to put this one top and over. I think it's what I found is very important. It's very important. Oh, this is the one we want over. Top and over, yes. Because that's one. Yes. Okay. And we got the top, and we got... How come there's no top mark on there? Is there? I don't see a mark on that at all. Well, we're going to assume that's the top. I'm going to mark that as the top. Maybe I didn't do all of them. I don't know. I was very nervous to do this one because the first video I watched on it, I was like, I don't think I can do this. This looks so complicated. And then I found this video that I watched that I will link there for you. She does a beautiful, beautiful tutorial. Okay. And I'm going to get these guys here. Okay, so this one now is going to go over there, and we're going to use this as our template. And top, yep. Okay, we're going to... This one has a funny... I had to glue some papers together of my dyed papers. And so this one's kind of a funny edge on it, but that's okay. It'll be fine. Okay, I got that one done. So this one's going to go over on the pile, and this one will come in. I like to, what did I do here? Get that done. Okay, get that in there like that. I like to paper clip or use a binding clip or something to keep my papers where I want them to be. Now I got the hiccups. Okay. Snug that in there. And just punch your holes through. All right. There we go. Okay, so this one was our guide here, and now this one goes on the back side. Okay, so we now have our signatures ready, and we have our cover ready. Now we're going to get our needle ready. So if we do, yes, where's the edge? This has been used so many times. It should not be that difficult. Oh, there it is. Okay. So if you take your, just like you do when you're doing a regular binding, and you do the length of your page or your journal. So we're going to do this 6 times because it's one length for each signature. So that was 1, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oops, 6, and some for the pot. Rather have too much than not enough, right? So we can get rid of that for now. And I'm going to use this needle. Okay. And we're going to tie a knot in this end. And this is what I said, if you were using embroidery thread, this is a long piece to have doubled up. Oh, come on, that's not that difficult. Apparently it is. It's a long piece to have doubled up and run it through and get caught and twisted and whatnot. So I don't know if I would, it's doable apparently, obviously it is. But I don't think I would recommend it, not on the first couple, unless you're used to working with it, then that's fine. Okay, I don't want to go too far with that. So I have got my signatures still in order. And I'm going to do them this way because we're going to work from the back, because as you go this way, it's easier. Okay, so we're going to go in through our first signature. And this is the top, and this is the top. We're going to class that as the top. Okay, so we're going to go into this top hole. Everything's top. And we're going to go right into this hole. And then that is going to be our start. Okay. It's a long string. Okay, now we're going to go right back through that same hole, which makes it a little tricky when you got a knot in there. Let's see. Come on now. You can pull this aside. You can get through one hole at a time, right? Okay. I'm just going to pull that. Give me some room here. And we're just going to put that right through here as well. There we go. There we go. And this is where that second needle comes into play, because we need to leave a loop in here. And we're going to take this needle and we're going to put it inside here, and we're going to pull our string tight. Okay, so that's going to keep our loop. And so then we just go, what have I got here? What have I got going here? What did I do? Doesn't want to come through. Why did my string go way over here? Why did that happen? What did you guys do? Okay, let's get this out of here. Hey, oh, wait, I see what's happened. I see what happened. This did not happen for me before. Okay, so we might have to start this over if I can't figure out. Oh, wait. Kinks. Gotta have kinks. Might as well learn how to fix the kinks, right? So, as you can see, for some reason, my knotted end ended up way up here. So I gotta try to find this one, pull on the other one. So, there we go. We're gonna pull on that. I don't know how that happened. It must have been when we ran the needle through again. And I'm just going to take and see now if this goes. Oh, I see what's happening. There we go. We want to keep a nice. Okay, back through that loop. And the first page is always the hardest. And as you can see, it did it again. I don't like that, but that's okay. We know how to fix it now. We don't have so much to go. Okay, how's that? Oh, perfect. Okay. And we have our needle in place. Okay, we're cooking with gas now. So now we're going to go through this hole, and then we're going to go through the same hole that we made in our spine. Oops, I think my needle just came out of there. I'm having troubles, and that's okay, because then you can see that it's not easy. It's easy, but it's not easy. Okay, we're going to pull this through, get this up here. We're going to get it all tangled up. Okay. And we're going to let that string just stay in there. Now we're going to come over here, and we're going to go into this hole here. And then through our signature. And the one thing you want to keep making sure is that I'm at a bad angle here. Why are you not going in there? You want to keep making sure that your string is tight, just like you would in any time you're binding. Right? And now what we got going on here? Around there. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to come back through this hole and into this next hole here. Okay, you can see we got nice and tight here. And then we're going to go down to this bottom hole and then into the coordinating hole in your signature. And then you can see I'm I might have to trim my pages a little bit, and I'm okay with that. Okay. So now we are You want to make sure that you are, not only are your strings tight, but you're following the same lines. One time I went over here and I had to take it apart. And I'm just going to pull this a little bit here and pull this here and then this, just to give it that little extra. And now we're ready for the next signature. So we're going to make sure of our top. There we go. And we're going to go to the next hole here on the top. And I'm going to bring it all the way through so you can see more of what I'm doing. Okay. So then with our signature, we're going to open it up and we're going to go through, oops, this hole here. This is that wonky edge I have going. So this one might be a little tricky, but it'll work. And there's my nugget. Did you guys notice, if you watch my videos, did you notice that he's been quiet the last couple of times? Crazy. Okay, so you end up with that. Okay. And we're just going to, there we go. Okay. We're going to go like so. And then into this hole here. And come out like that. Okay. And then we're going to here. It's actually, you know, once you get the feel for it. Let's do this. Let's string this. Once you get the feel for it, it's a little more complicated, of course, than the simple 3-stitch binding that I'm used to doing. That's the one I am used to doing, and I'd use probably 95% of the time. Make sure your string, oops, see, this is, look how much trouble I'm having with this long string without being doubled. Can you, I would not be that easily to work with a doubled. Okay, so you just want to pull it snug that you know, it's not ripping things, but that it is. Oops, don't put it. Hey, what did I do? I missed that hole completely. No, I didn't. It's right there. Oh, it's that silly backing that I have. Boy, oh boy. Okay, that page is going to be a problem. It's going to just cause me issues until we get past that. Now I see this one is not as thick as tight as I would like it, and I don't know at this point if I can get it tighter. Where's my needle? Here's my needle. And the one thing I noticed too is that this thread did go. Okay, well, that's better. Okay, let's pull that again. All right. Now we're going to go over to this one and through our. Let's just go through here. Topsy-turvy. Yep. Okay. Bring it through. All right. There we go. And one more here. I guess I could do this, make it a little less of a pain. Okay, make sure we're where we want to be. And we are coming through this hole here, like so. Okay, everything snug as a bug in a rug. You're not. You're not. Okay. There you go. Come on now. Come on now. Why don't you want to come down? That's why. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now we can pull pull that one. And like so. Okay, nice and snug. Yeah. Okay. Then we're going to go through here. And through this one. It doesn't want to show me. Okay, let's just bring that through like this. Make sure we're nice and snug. Get it through this next hole right here. So we're going to come out here. We're all nice and lined up. And we're snug. And good. And our strings back here are good. Yes, they are. Okay, so here's where the fun begins. Now what we want to do is we want to take this needle out and we want to come through here, through the little loop. There. And now we're ready to put in our next signature. I forget whether we're top or bottom. Which are we? What are we? We're the bottom. We should be the top. This is top. That's the way we gotta be. Okay. So now we're going to bring in our next signature. I'm going to move this over here. And we're going to bring in this signature. And we're going to mark the top here. And we're going to do this. So now what we want to do is we have gone through our loop here. And we want to go through this hole right here. And then through the top hole in our signature. Just like so. Don't get tangled up on me. There we go. Okay, and then just like we did the other ones, we're going to go through this one. And don't want to go backwards here. And this one. And thank you, Donna, for thinking of me with the file folders. I've already used 2. And we're going to go in here, right through like so. Okay. And then this one, and through that hole. This is where you want to make sure that you're going to the proper holes. And nice, things are nice and snug. Looks good. Okay. And then we're going to go through the bottom hole, just like we did on the other one. And I'm going to go through this one. And through our signature. And we're going to go through this one here. So, and let's pull this one. This one is, no, that's not the one. Which is the one? This one right here. There we go. Okay, I want that stitch to be tight too. Okay, and then we're going to go this one and follow. And let's just take a double check and make sure that we're all tight, because it's much easier to fix now than what it is later. So now we want to go through this loop here, like so. Okay, that one's ready. Now we're ready for our next signature. So we're going to repeat the process. And we're going to go here. Oh, look at that. Lined up perfectly. Whoa, perfect lineup. And we're going to go through here. Whoa, whoa, easy peasy. See, it does get much easier. Now I probably spoke too soon. Yeah, I spoke too soon. Okay, we'll go here, line it up. In she goes. And I'm going to come back out here. I want to make sure that's snug. And we're going to go here. Come out this one here. Wrap it all nicely lined up. I do have to say that this is actually, like I said, it's, you know, it's a little more complicated, of course, than the pamphlet stitch, but it's fun to learn something new. And this is very new to me. Okay, I gotta, there we go, here's my string back up here. And I sure hope I counted my signatures right. Oh, there we go, okay. I always get panicky when I think my string is getting too close to, there we go, looks good, looks good. Okay, and then we're going to come up here, and we're going to go through this hole right there, right there. All right, and then just like we did to the other one, we're going to go through our loop here. Almost looks like I missed something, but I didn't. And then we can go to the next hole here. And it's like 1:30. I don't understand why he's yelling now. Maybe he's got to go outside. All right, well, I'm going to pause this just for a second, see what he needs, because he may need to go outside. And I'm the only one listening, apparently. Okay. Okay, I'm back. And yes, he had to go potty, so good for him for being so vocal. All right, where was I? Okay, we're starting this one here. So now we want to put in this hole. Get over here. And then back through this one. And then through here. This, like I said, once you get going on it, it's much easier. There we go. Pull everything nice and snug. There we go. And we'll get in there. Oops. Oops. No, 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 no. Nay, nay. Oh boy, almost boogered that up, didn't I? That's okay. That's okay. I caught it in time. Not everything goes perfectly as planned. Okay, well, we better cut this end. A little hard to work with all those frayed ends. There we go. There we go. Okay. Back over here to this hole. Like so. There we go. And in here. So make sure that you shoot over to Suzanne's channel and see her book, how she did it. She might have had an easier way to do it than I did. Because there's different techniques. And then we're going to go through that loop again. And back into this first hole. And that's where we're going to attach our very last signature. Now, if you wanted to do more signatures, you know, you could definitely put them closer together. This for me was just a nice, easy cheat. Make it not too complicated for, you know, my first time, now my second time doing it. And an easier way to show you, if you've never done it before, an easier way to do it as well. Here. And we're going to go here, like so. I don't know which, next week we'll be tackling something else, and I don't remember what it is. But it will put our thinking caps on, I'm certain. Suzanne has picked out some very awesome ones that I've never even heard of before. So it'll be good to, like I said, it's nice to learn different ones, whether you do them ever again. Doesn't matter. Okay, so we have everything nice and snug. And we're at this point here. We're going to take and make sure our string doesn't pull through. So we're going to go through our little loop here again, like so. Pull that nice and snug. Now we're going to go through this hole one more time. That's where the tricky part is, trying to get it through. Oh, that's where the tricky part is, I say. That just went way too nice. Okay, so now we're going to take and dump things over. Okay, so we're going to make a knot here, and I'm just going to pull it up through like this. And one thing that I find is that my wax thread will stretch, so I don't want to pull it too hard through, because the last time I ended up with a bubble there. So we have one knot there. I'm going to do it one more time. So through and through our loop and bring it to the end and snug that out. There we go. And we can cut that off. And there we go. I'm gonna pull all my safety pins. I'm going to pull my safety pins out. My paper clips. Let's get them all. The file folder, like I said, is just it's an easy way to learn to do it, because your guidelines is pretty much already there for you, right? And there we go. That's going to be a nice journal. I'm going to make this a little more solid when we get to it, but it's all bound. I think that looks really nice. Looks good. And the pieces are all in here nicely. And it folds out nice and flat as you're working on your pages, so it's easier to write in. That's one of the things that I really like about this style of doing it, is that it's just nice and everything lays nice and flat. So it's gonna be fun to decorate this one when I get there. So there is the long stitch and my version of it, my tutorial. I would like to use a little thicker of a cardstock here, but that's okay. It's going to be perfectly fine. So make sure you watch Suzanne's video, and I will leave the link to where I watched this and where that template is for you. I will leave a link in the description below, and I will leave a link possibly to Suzanne's channel if I can figure out how to get that all done. I'm still learning stuff. So now I have 2 journals that are ready to decorate. I really like that. I like to look at it. So there we go. Have yourselves a great day. Thank you very much for joining me. Make sure you go and see Suzanne. If you liked what you saw, give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. I love comments. If you like what we do, maybe give me a subscribe. That'd be awesome too. And we will see you next Tuesday with a different way to bind your journal. So join me with Bind It All. All right. Bye-bye.